All right, so we're live. Welcome to the channel, Sikini. And
Thank
for
you, sir.
those, and for those joining us, you can join us in the comments. There's a link there. You can join us and share your opinion on today. Today we're going to talk basically about Otuado's. Did I say Otuado? Chris Hughton'S. I find it hard to move on. Chris Hughton'S first Black Star squad that has been named. Yes, we're going to discuss it. We're going to look at the general impressions. We'll first listen to the panel. I'm expecting more guys to come on board. Also, again, this is what we'll be doing. You give me your
Sure.
general impressions on the Black Stars team. The general impression has been that of happiness, whether you're happy, whether you're sad. Reasons why some players are out that you've heard.
Okay.
Your possible starting 11
Sure.
and your thoughts on Chris Hughton and how well he will do heading
Okay.
into the Afcon qualifiers. Also, there were no local players. Are you surprised by that? You know that advocacy for local players in the lead up to the World Cup was pretty high. And Chris Hughton's contract will hit on that one as well. But welcome back to the channel. This is Sahara Football. We're doing it here with the Sikeni TV. We're expecting more guys to join us pretty soon. But if you're joining us, you know the drill. You have a chance to express your thoughts also here in video. You click on the link in the comments box right now. You can click on it and join us here on StreamYard. I'll allow you access when it gets to it. But welcome, Osikeni TV. Welcome to the
Thank you once
discussion.
again, and I hope you are doing great.
Yeah, I am. Hope you are doing good
That's all.
yourself. Okay, so without much ado, let's jump right into it. And there are more people joining us. Hopefully, share the link, give the video a like. It helps to propagate it faster and better. So, first off, the Black Stars squad, 25-man squad, has been named by Coach Chris Hughton. His first call up since being appointed as the head coach of the Ghana Black Stars. We were expecting this announcement to come at his unveiling. The
Sure.
unveiling we've heard is going to happen in Kumasi. What are your thoughts on the 25-man squad, first of all?
Okay. Thank you for the great question. I'm also honored to be on this great platform, the biggest of all in Ghana here in terms of sports. Now, talking about the 25-man squad, I'm very excited for us getting this squad, not because of the names we have in there, but just because the kind of players that we expected, I think we got almost the same. This is not because some players have been dropped. I know people are jubilating that some players have been dropped, like notably Baba Abdurrahman, Fatal
Barbara.
Isahaku. I think maybe if Isahaku was dropped, but Baba Rahman was not dropped, let's get that point clear because he's injured. And because of his
Yes, he is.
injury,
He is.
yes.
Yeah.
But when he is fit and he's not invited, then you get to know that, okay, now he has been dropped. Now, talking about the general impression of the 25 months, I think it's cool. These are the materials we have currently that we can actually talk about. And I think Coach Otoado selected, did I say Otoado again? Coach Chris Hughton selected the best men that we have to represent Ghana. I'm just maybe surprised that one player could not make it. But aside that, I think I support 24 out of 25 of the players that was called. And I think going forward, the players that have been called isn't that much an issue, but how he can put those players together
Yeah.
to bring out the best in them will be what Ghanaians will actually be expecting Coach Chris Hughton to do that for us. Because you can have the best of materials, the best of ingredients, but how to cook will now become the issue. So,
Combining them to bring out
sure,
a delicious meal is
that
also
is it.
another
That is
question
it.
that
So
will
I
have to
think
be answered.
for now we can just be okay with the squad, be excited about it. But let's wait and see how Chris Hughton will pan out in the years that he will have. We don't know. It has been rumored that he rejected 1 year offer. We don't know the number of years, as GFA says that they are going to reveal it to us on the 20th. We'll wait for that time for us to know the number of years he will stay with us. then we'll get to know how he will fare going forward in our games ahead of us. So that's the little I can say for now.
Okay, let me say a big welcome to Manuel Sports. Manuel, thank you for joining us.
You are
Thank
deeply
you so
welcome.
much for joining. Sure. So let me also get your impressions, general impressions of the squad. What do you think about it? Are you excited?
Oh, thank you very much. Before I plunge into the discussion, I just have to extend my warmest greetings to Sahara Football, Osikene TV, Manuel TV Sports, B Sports, whatever group joining today. They are cherished viewers for they also supporting us as in the football fanatics. Now, let me go into the game. We know that
Okay, the squad. The squad.
before any
Yeah,
squad
yeah,
is
yeah.
being released, yeah, by all means, it will be predominantly be the discourse in the country. It becomes very topical on the national media, social media platforms, just because of the varying intricacies associated. For me, I don't have any problem with the squad, starting from the goalkeeping department, from the defenders, midfielders, strikers, whatever it is. I mean, the forwards. I don't have any problem because looking at the goalkeeping department, you were supposed to select among five goalkeepers. That is Lawrence Atizigi, Jojo Wolacott, Manaf Nuruddin, Danlad Ibrahim, and another goalkeeper, Richard Ofoyi. I think Richard Ofoyi just recovered from injury and he just started
Yeah.
some build-ups. And for Danlad Ibrahim, looking at his experience so far with the Black Stars and looking at what he did at the just ended CHAN tournaments in Algeria, I think Jojo Wolakos should be better than him because looking at his performance so far at Kotoko, he is very good when it comes to stopping shots, as in saving shots, and when it comes to ball distributions and a lot when as a goalkeeper. But when it comes to the aerial balls, that is where he sometimes
Mm,
struggles. You see that it's very difficult for him, especially the goal against Kotoko when they just played Hearts of Oak at Kumasi Sports Stadium. Someone might attribute it to his height, but you can compare him to this French international goalkeeper, Bates. He was also, I think Bates is 1.8 meters tall, that is 5 feet 11 inches. And even Danlad is I think is taller than that goalkeeper. Danlad is 1.81 tall, but he's very good when it comes to the area balls. So I think he has to work on it. If he doesn't work on it, it will be very difficult for Danlad Ibrahim to get into the Black Stars. And people, I think everyone is okay with the squad because looking at the local players, what they did at the
players,
chat tournament, no one
yeah.
deserves it. Yeah.
No
It's
one is
true.
advocating for them again.
Yeah. No one is going to do that. No one is going to do that. Their
So,
performance.
general impression of the squad is okay.
It's okay. It's okay. I think it's okay. It's okay. Just because of some injuries, but for now it's okay.
Okay. My good friend Delali has joined us. Del Suka, thank you for joining us as well.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. Like,
Yeah. So, your general impressions of the team that has been
if you
called
wanted
up.
to have a conversation without me, so I have to still enjoy. I'm a few. Let me make let me make some few. I hope you guys can hear me and see me.
Yeah, we can hear you clearly.
Right. So,
How's your sound now?
Yeah,
how I
it's
do
okay.
this.
Okay. Del, go ahead.
All right, sure. So, personally, I think it's the best squad we can put together. It has the blend of the experience and also a continuation of what we saw at the World Cup. Because if you remember, after the African Cup of Nations, we all agreed that the squad that we took to the African Cup of Nations was not good enough. But then
Yeah.
the squad that went to the World Cup was a better squad, just that they've not played together for quite a long time. So we could all admit
Yeah.
that the kind of players we had in that team, 80% of them or 70% of them were good enough. And then for Chris Hughton, who is somebody who was with the team as a technical advisor, it was great that
Yeah.
he was just going ahead to name the squad that the players that we already know and the players that he already saw. So for me, I think it's a yes for me because I've always said that we all have our players. If you told me to mention my top five midfielders, I might mention players that the coach will not like. But at the end of the day, the coach is the one who's going to play the game, and he knows the players
Yeah.
that best first for him. Because we've seen Richarlison, who was very good at the World Cup for Brazil, he's on the bench for Tottenham Hotspur because his coach doesn't like him. So football is about the coach and the kind of players he likes. But as a Ghanaian, sometimes you love to see big names in your team. We have them. We have
Yeah.
Semenyo, we have Salisu, Thomas Partey, Tariq Lamptey, Inaki Williams, and these are big names. And one thing that I loved about our squad is when the FA managed to convince these foreign players to come and play for us. I was telling a friend that I am not really even interested in the World Cup, but the African Cup of Nations, when you're going to play the African countries and you go
Yeah,
to
that one.
and you go to an African tournament with players like Inaki Williams, Tariq Lamptey, like these big names in an African Cup of Nations game, and you are playing against, let's say, Angola. Like, you have that quality enough and that's big name, because you see these players that they play in the African continent and they are fans of these big names. And when you have such at your disposal, it's great. So for me, it's 100% a good squad for me, and I'm happy that we have players that we know that they are there on merits. And I spoke with Sicho, and he said that if you are away, you look at this squad and you believe that if you are performing well, a classic example is Joseph Pinso, for instance. He walked straight into the team because of his performance post the World Cup and pre the World Cup. Anybody there who looks at him and see that this guy was good enough, and that's why he's there. So for me, obviously, I'm going to look at it and say that it's a good squad, pretty much like 100% for me, and it's a good squad because Chris Hughton was with the team, and continuity is also good as a national team. So, Charlie, I support it.
Thank you so much. B Sports, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us. We are running through your impressions on the squad. The 25-man squad. General impressions on it.
All right. Good evening to you all.
Sure.
Yeah, so when I see this squad, I was not having any problem about the squad because I've seen that Coach Chris Hughton, he continued with what Coach Otuado, what he led. Yeah. So I think that it is on course. He is on course. And I don't think that I have any problem with the players so far. What we all praying is that we win our matches against Angola. And we may say that there is a new inclusion in the squad, but the lack of Jose Pinto and the rest. And someone will say that, why is the coach bringing the Jose Pinto? Before the World Cup, we all know what Jose Pinto did before the World Cup, and after he's still doing better. So after this squad, I think that the coach is on point. And after yesterday, when the coach released the squad, no one is talking about it.
I don't. The general consensus is happiness. We are all happy about it.
Yes, I don't see anyone complaining about the squad. So I think that we are on course, and we are looking forward to win our game against Angola. Then I think
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Okay. So generally, all of you are happy with the squad. I think everyone is excited to see what Chris Hughton does with these crop of players. But before we look at what Chris Hughton needs to do or what you expect him to do, let me just ask if there are some surprises. I know everyone is generally happy with it, but not everyone, there'll always be that black sheep in the family of everyone. But are there any exclusions that surprised you? Are there any inclusions that surprised you? Let me start with Kenny. You can kick that off.
Okay, thank you. I think the only surprise inclusion, I think it might be Edmond Addo, who plays for Spartak Subotica in Serbia. I think the reason why I was a little bit of surprise is I was thinking maybe a player like Baba Idrisu would have been chosen ahead of him. We know Baba Idrisu, before the World Cup, he was part of the main team. He was playing with Thomas Tepper at almost every game. and he picked up that injury of which he said that he needed 7 days to recover. But Otto
Yeah.
Addo, Otto Addo did not give him that time. And he was
They don't
really
give him the
frustrated,
7 days.
Yes, and since he returned, I think he has been playing quite well. But the past
Not
three
consistent.
matches, yes, but the past 3 matches he has been off. So I don't know whether the coach really based on that to call him. Edmond Addo, well, he has had his time with Black Stars before. We all know his qualities when he was at Sheraton Sport. He wanted to move to Kremna Zemza, that's Resta Belgrade, but the move did not go through. Then
Did not pan
he
out. Yeah.
yes, he finally arrived at Sparta Subotica. I checked 1 or 2 statistics about him. I think he wasn't all that on top of his game there for now. In about 6 matches he has played in there, but he's the coach, and maybe sometimes the mistakes we do is we just judge the players per the statistics we see. If we are not able to watch the game, we only talk about the statistics or the ratings the player was giving and other stuff. But we do not go detailed into some of the things
Again.
that the coaches consider. That is why sometimes we make case for a goalkeeper like Lawrence Atizigi. Yes, he might concede 2 goals, but if you watch him, you watch the number of saves he pulled in a game, you might understand the reason why he's always invited into the Black Stars of Ghana's team. So just statistics might not tell. Maybe the coach feels like when Edmond was in the team, he was giving him that kind of solidity, that kind of performance that if Baba Idrisu is even doing quite well, I think Edmond can do quite better without having Elisha also. So I think Edmond is the only surprise that I saw in this particular squad. Now the ones excluded, I think I don't really have Fatah Isaku. I think he should still continue to grow, and some few players that I've been talking about them. Last time I spoke about some players that should be sent to the under 23 side. Ghana, we have a certain thought that immediately a player moves away from Ghana to play in Europe or somewhere, then that player is cut for the Black Stars of Ghana. No. Looking at the Algerian under 23 side coming to play the Black Stars of Ghana now, they've tried to got about 4 players who are playing in Europe. Some are in Italian Serie B, others too are playing in Netherlands and others. They are trying to get them because they want to improve them. Last time I was speaking about Fatah Isaku. Fatah Isaku, imagine after under 20, we promoted him to the under 23 side. He went there, matured very well before bringing him to the Black Stars of Ghana. People might not be complaining. He went to Sporting and they feel like maybe there are some few things he needs to improve on. So usually they take him to the under 19. Yesterday we saw him getting about 2 minutes to play. They feel like they should include him gradually. So I feel those players, we shouldn't just make it look like if they are not called into the Black Stars of Ghana, that is all. No, we can only call about 25 players at a time out of thousands of Ghanaian players playing across the globe. So I think these are the few players I'll talk about. But I'm okay. I'm okay with the squad. Sure.
Okay, before the other 2 guys bring in their thoughts, someone mentioned something. Patrick Pfeiffer.
Patrick Pfeiffer. Okay.
Patrick Pfeiffer. He's one guy who has been doing well. In recent times, he hasn't been playing, but this guy was doing so well for his club side before the World Cup. He switched nationalities to play for Ghana. He was not called up. Why do you think that is? I think this is a question that Chris Hughton will be best suited to answer. Hopefully, we get to ask it when the unveiling is done. But what do you think is the reasoning behind Hughton's exclusion of Pfeiffer?
Well, as I checked, the last time I checked, the player is injured. And the player is injured, and because of that, I don't think he can come for the assignment. I don't really know whether the player has really switched 100% to Ghana, because I was having problem when Coach Otoado was inviting Stefan Ambrosius ahead of Patrick Pfeiffer. Well, they might have different profile coming on board, but I don't know. I want Pfeiffer to be very fit. Then the call-up will come and he might not be in. That is where I'll have issues.
You can draw your conclusion. All right.
Yes, as I check right now, he's actually treating an injury, and very soon he will return to the field. And after that, I think we can speak about it. Sure.
All right. So that answers the Pfeiffer question. My good friend Manuel, sports.
Yes, Sahara.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts? Any surprise inclusions, exclusions, and Anything else before we look at what Chris Hughton needs to do?
All right, for my part, I think there's no surprise in terms of omission or inclusion. I think the squad is okay, but
Okay.
there are one or two players. I think some players are injured. The likes of Ali
Okay.
Seydou, he will surely come back because of his performance during the World Cup, and that's of Daniel Kofice. You all know his
Yeah.
performance when
Yeah.
he's given the opportunity. I think
Yeah.
this player will come back to play. So with the inclusion of this player, Edmond Ado, I think it was not due to his recent performance, but what he has done for the Black Stars previously. I think during the queuing tournaments, he was being
Mm,
changed. He was being he was playing as a certain position. Was it center back or so? I forgot, but I think he was being replaced by a certain player at the center back position, and he did very well. So going into the
okay.
game, I think it's a double header. The reason why they selected some players are based on the fact that there might be some injuries in camp. So we'll be looking out for those players with the exceptions, those players who are versatile, those players when you give them the opportunity at any position, they can display or they can give out to their maximum best. That is why when you are doing selections for double header games, you should know how to do your selections. So looking at Edmond Ado, he's very good when it comes to the midfield. Now, people were just arguing about Edmond Ado and Baba Idrisu. When Salis got the opportunity, one of my friends told me that it will be very difficult for Baba Idrisu to come back into the Black Stars because anytime he gets the ball, he'll just be taking the ball back. And as a defensive midfielder, it's true you have to coordinate your defenders and your midfielders, but you're always coordinating with your defenders without going in front or offensively. It was very bad for Baba Idrisu. But when you got that guy, Salis Abdul Samid, everyone see that, oh, this guy is very, very, very good. And that has been the sad story for Baba Idrisu for getting Black Stars call up. And I think this is the best so far. And looking at the goalkeeping department too, it's okay. It's okay. Now we are okay with Lawrence Atizigi. We know that by all means, Woto will go into the post, but he'll be making some wonderful saves. Yeah, we know that. And the likes of Olakot will be coming back. So we think for now, even if I'm to choose among the three goalkeepers, I think Lawrence Atizigi is better now as compared to the
Wow.
likes of
I think
Manaf
that's
Nuruddin and Jojo Wolacott. And the front two, I think they are okay. I think everyone was excited when Baba Rahman was excluded from the squad. And who again? I think it's okay. But people were also talking about, is it good time to call Jeffrey Schlupp? And I was like, I don't know the reason why they don't call him or he has not been gotten the Black Stars call up. It was very difficult to discuss though, but I think some of the decisions, the technical team are the best people to explain. Yeah, when you look at some of the decisions, they are the best people to explain as to
answer this
why
question.
they selected certain players and why they excluded certain players. And with that of Patrick Pfeiffer's issue, for now, let's compare the center backs that we have. I think the position that he can play best is the center back position. Do we have
Yeah.
other players who do perform better than Patrick
Better.
Pfeiffer? We always call
Yeah.
Joseph Edu, but Joseph Edu is on the bench. So I think we even called Stefan Ambrosius, but he was also on the bench. Looking at the likes of Daniel Amate, Salisu Mohammed, and Alexander Jiku, it will be very difficult for Pfeiffer to penetrate. Are you getting it? It will be very difficult. Even though he has the height as a center back, he should get the height and everything. But looking at he coming to make his debut for Ghana, it will be very difficult for him to get that opportunity because we don't normally change defenders. You should work with experienced defenders. People were talking about Daniel Amate should be at the bench for Alexander Jiku and other players. But I think some of the experience who comes, there might be some errors from them though, but with experience, you get to know that we need some of the defenders. That is why I think Patrick Pfeiffer, even though he's performing, he's very young and we are hoping to see him in the future for the Black Stars. But I'm okay with the current defenders that we have.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. B Sports, let's hear your thoughts. Any surprises or you're also okay with everything? Any
Oh yeah.
surprises?
Actually, no surprises. I'm okay with that squad, and I was happy to see JJ Walcott is back, but in the group
Yeah,
stage.
yeah, yeah.
So what Loris Atizili did in the World Cup, I'll go in for Loris Atizili for now ahead of JJ
He conceded
Walcott.
close to 6, 7 goals. So are you guys forgetting we
Yeah,
conceded?
but so
uh,
what he did
we conceded
the
a lot
World
of
Cup,
goals. So.
yeah,
But
Uh-huh.
he made
I know.
10 wonderful saves too.
In the yeah,
Yeah, but he still
so
conceded goals that cost us. So
And at times, so it doesn't depend on only the goalkeeper. The defenders too are part. Look at what
I
Daniel
know
Abate did.
there was that was it. So
well, that's
currently,
up for debate. So let's just
I would see Atizigi ahead of Walcott.
oh,
And
I got it. All right.
after the defenders, I'm okay with it. I was looking for Ali Sedi, but unfortunately, the player is injured. So I think the players that the coach call is equally good compared
Okay.
to Ali Sedi. And after
Okay.
the midfielders, I'm okay with Thomas Partey, Salif Abdul Samed. I know that they are this thing. Edmond Adu, Oseni, and Manuel is talking about him. I think he's not a new player to the Black Star.
Yeah.
He's not a new player, so he know the rhythm. So I think he will do the job. So I don't have any problem with the squad. What I'm looking forward to see the team win. What we need is qualify. So me currently,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
have any problem with the current squad. And Oseni was talking about Abdel Fattah Isaku.
Mm-hmm.
I was not surprised that Coach Chris Osin did not call him
Mm.
because the guys still need to learn more. The guys still need to learn more. And looking at this season playing for Sporting CP, he's not even getting playing time right
Time.
now
Yeah. Yeah.
in the junior team. He needs to develop more
Yeah. 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 That's
before
true.
we bring before we
Bring
bring
him
him
back into the
to the
national
black.
team conversation.
Yeah. So I think I was not surprised that when Coach Petrotin dropped Fatal Isaako.
Dropped.
I think
But
yeah, I'm
Isaac.
okay with the squad so far. So good.
Okay, so let's move on the discussion a bit. So we want to now focus on the coach Chris Hughton and what we expect from him. First of all, what are your expectations from Chris Hughton, and what do you think he needs to address in the national team? A big issue he needs to focus on first and foremost. What is that? I think Manuel, you can kick that off for us. What are your expectations from Chris Hughton? And what issue in the Black Stars team does he need to address most? That will get us trophies.
All right, Sarah, thank you for the question. I think it depends. This one is an individual. You can't decide or you can't think for someone. But from my side, I think he's not a new member to the Black Stars team. He was once the technical advisor, so he has gotten to know this
Advisor,
team,
yeah.
yeah, for very long. I think maybe
Long time, yeah.
1 year, 1 year is okay for him now, so he know how to do his things. But looking at the call up, he called. I have some queries to make about his decisions as to how he categorized the players. Now, the first question is Kudus going to play as number 9 or as a midfielder? That is the first question because he was being included in the forwards. So I was asking myself,
Forwards.
yeah, is Kudus going to be number 9 or is now going to play as the normal midfielder, attacking midfielder that you know? That is the question that I want to ask. But we will all get it when it's time for the first game in
Again.
Kumasi. Yes. And how is he going to set up his team? That is the question. Is he going to be like some players are injured, so he's just going to try some players? Or is he going to
Hello?
give some players that normally sits on the bench to start the game? Now, the likes of Patrick Pozo, is he going to start or is he going to be on the bench? That is what I'm thinking about now. So now, if we are, this is the time against Angola. Angola is not just a tough opponent for Ghana. We can play them because it's not like you are going to play Brazil. You are going to
Brazil,
play
yeah.
South Korea, whatever. Yeah, we can just give the other players the opportunity to also perform for us to see. So now we see that our major problem when it comes to the back is the left back position. I think we were playing against South Korea, and Gideon Mensah had Mazopu or whatever it is. He couldn't continue.
Yeah.
Baba Rahman too is someone that we know that he gone with the days that we used to know Baba Rahman, but for now we don't know the Baba Rahman that we used to know. And looking at the performance of Patrick Pozo in Sheriff Tiraspol, will he be the best fit for that position as it stands now? Yes, and you can all testify to it when you give him the maximum opportunity against Angola. That is where you come to get to know that, he's very good when it comes to the left back position. Now, as the left back, what is your duty? Can he perform to everyone's expectation? That is what I'm expecting from Chris Hughton, that he should give the other boys, opportunity for us to see and testify that now these players are the players that we need for various competitions or various upcoming competitions, so that we can know how to conclude on. Because some of the players, I don't think we should call Baba Rahman back. He shouldn't come to the Black Stars. He's okay. He's okay. He has performed. He has paid his duties. And now
let's take it easy. Don't throw the baby out to the bathwater.
But at least we should know. We are building a young team. We are building a team that we think that is okay for the future. We are not building a team that maybe we are just going to play a tournament and you come back.
Yeah.
I'm for the people who always go against Baba Rahman, because looking at when you are center back, you have to consider three things. The three things are: one, your overlaps. How do you recover? And how do you make interceptions? Are you getting it?
Yeah, I get it.
Baba Rahman can recover, make some interceptions, but the overlaps, he can cross the ball and it's over the bar. Strikers are in front of the post, waiting for the ball, and you see that a left back or a fullback will cross the ball and it's over the bar, which is very annoying sometimes. So at times, we want to build a young team. I even heard the news that GFA decided to offer Chris Hughton a 1-year contract, and he has rejected.
We are going to that. Don't jump the gun. We'll go to that later on after this.
Okay.
We'll go there.
So yeah, I just wanted to position it to the point that we are building the team. I getting it. We are building the team, and you need new players, not any other new players, but young players that can help the team. So looking at their ages, I know sometimes their football ages and so, but we have to consider them and be okay with them, because that is what is on the certificates, and we all know. So looking at their ages that they are using to play the ball now, we have young team that we can build for future trophies. This is the time we should give the young players the opportunity to play to their maximum satisfaction, and it's not against any other big team like Angola. So we should play them with the players that we have. The players that
it's interesting that you mentioned it's not against a big team like Angola. Someone is reminding us here, Theo is telling us that we lost to Comoros. So please don't underrate anyone now.
We are
lost
not
to Comoros.
underrating them. But we are also
Yes. I just wanted to put it in there because the comment just came and you were saying a big team.
The Comoros match, look at the team. Look at the team that lost against Comoros. It was, look at our preparation. It was very, very, very bad. And looking at the Comoros
on
game,
paper, we shouldn't have lost that game because we had better players. That's the truth on the ground.
Oh,
you can
sure.
argue.
Sure, but let's compare that Black Stars to the Black Stars that just played the World Cup. You can see that there are a lot of changes in the team. I hope you can't dispute that fact. There are a lot of changes.
That's true.
Hadn't it been that, we wouldn't have been able to beat South Korea. But looking at the teams, we were able to beat South Korea. So let's compare to that one.
We're still eliminated from the group stages. So
but that one, we're also able to beat some teams.
I'm just saying, let's be cautious. Let's be cautious in trying to underrate.
I do understand. Perfectly.
Yes.
We are making it player to player in those things. That is why we are just rating them. We are better than them. We are better than them.
No problem. On paper, we are FIFA ranking wise. We are, so that one, we are better than them.
Exactly. So we should go. And the players that we've called to, they are okay. Any player can play. That is what I mean. Like the players that have been sitting on the bench, especially during the World Cup, we should give these players opportunity for them to also explore, for we to see their kind of play on the pitch when they come to the Black Stars. We know them in their various clubs, but what they do when they are playing for the Black Stars? That's my question now. Someone like Joseph Edu, when he goes to Celta Vigo, he's playing very well. But what about Black Stars? I've not been seeing Joseph Edu nowadays in the Black Stars. So we should give him the opportunity. You've called Patrick Pozo. Let's give Patrick Pozo the opportunity for him to play. Yes. We've called Kamal Din Suleimana. Recently, he has not been getting much playing time for the Black Stars. We should give him the opportunity. We know that of the day are you and Jordan are you. Let them sit on the bench and let's use these new players to play for the Black Stars. And let's see. Now, when they are not able to give out to their maximum expectations or feed the fans, we can now call on the day are you, Jordan are you that yes, now it's your time because we gave the people the opportunity and they weren't able to utilize it. I hope you understand my point. So that is what
I get you.
The new coach,
Hughton. All right. Okay, you can jump in now. What are you expecting from Chris Hughton and what issues does he need to address?
Okay, thank you. I think Mama has said a lot. Some of them I do agree with him. Others too, I do not agree with him, and I'll make my point. Sure. Okay. Now, Chris Hughton coming in now is just like which coach can I actually bring in? Just like Real Madrid bringing Carlo Ancelotti, or maybe Ghana bringing in a coach like Kwesi Appiah. Kwesi Appiah is a calm man. Ancelotti is a calm man. So Chris Hughton is. Now, Ghanaians, we like talking a lot. That is a fact. We talk because we love the sports and we feel like we are best in Africa and we should do a lot. We should win trophies. But we shouldn't forget, I think over 40 years now, we are yet to actually touch a trophy as a nation in the Black Stars of Ghana's level. And we need to do a lot. Chris Hughton has a lot of things to do in this team. First of all, transition is very, very key when we are talking about the Black Stars of Ghana. The reason why I think a coach like Kwesi Appiah did very well for Black Stars was that you had players like, Stephen Appiah, Michael Essien, Hansedu Sape, John Pinto. All those players were fading out, but he was able to at least maintain us in that particular level when we went to tournaments. At least our quarterfinal, semi-final, finals were not, out of the space for us. But Chris Hughton coming in right now, he needs to transit, he needs to make sure that the team will go through that transition period smoothly. The reasons why he shouldn't take some players out. If you look at the team, well, Baba Rahman is not here, but I think it's because of the injury. If not, I don't think he would have chosen Pozo ahead of him. Well, I can't tell, but let's wait for him to be fit. Then we actually go into that discussion. But maybe taking out Fatai Sahaku shows that, he has something on mind that he wants to execute. So he needs to still include some experienced players, then blend them with the young ones coming up. Let's say you go into a match that you throw away all your experienced players, then you go in with the younger ones. You might end up having a very good, talented players who will not achieve anything for you. There are some players playing very well in their various clubs, but if you wear them the Black Stars of Ghana's jersey and you include them in the starting lineup and you just bring them on, you are not going to see anything. They will just be afraid. They are going to fail. Even some of them immediately they get to the training ground, then they start quelling. Most of our local players, they will be the local champion. They'll be bossing the Ghana Premier League, everything. Take them to the Black Stars. Immediately they see Thomas. Yes, then they will be watching. They'll be looking at his watch. Maybe he has some gold watch. They will just be looking at him like that. We shouldn't forget. See, last 2 seasons, when Fatai Sahaku was playing in the Ghana Premier League, he was just scoring goals left, right, center. He was scoring that.
He was shining.
Yes, he was just driving here. He went outside, came to the Black Stars of Ghana, but usually you see that he's very wasteful. He doesn't produce the end products that we want him to. Efre Bane was very good on the local scene. He got opportunity in Black Stars. Actually, he did well. He was able to impress. But since joining FC Zurich, he has not gotten any playing minutes there. So I think it makes sense for him to be out for now. The reason why I wanted him to join under 23. But Coach Chris Hughton coming in, he needs to make sure that transition period will be that smooth. The day he is fading or he's going out of the team now, how is he going to manage him? Very, very important. Jordan Ayew, how is he going to manage him? Very, very key.
Very, very
This
important. Yeah.
egos will start setting in. Some players, they will feel like the Black Stars is for us. I'm Andrea Ayew, I'm the captain. Why should you just bench me? You ask questions. Don't expect him to keep mute when the coach bench him. Imagine the coach decides to start without Andrea Ayew, Jordan Ayew, Thomas, Daniel Amate. If they are sitting on the bench, they will talk. And if you don't take care as a coach, that is when you start finding problems. That is the problems that Kwesi Appiah had at his time when he decided to take out Samoa, take out some players who were aging. We know definitely you can't play football till 40 or well, some do, but you can't play till 50. There is going to be that time that the younger ones, we must give them opportunity. But how he's going to do it now will be the main focus for me as a person. Then secondly, his style of play. We shouldn't forget he's not a perfect coach, and no coach is perfect. He also has his shortfalls. But how are we going to manage it for him? Because looking at him from Brighton and Hove Albion, I needed to go and read some things about him, how he got sacked and a whole lot of stuff. Well, I quite remember that season in the second league, they didn't really do well. Brighton didn't really do well. I think 2019, he took the team from 14 to 19, and Brighton was in the league. They remained in the EPL, but they felt like his style of play wasn't all that great for them, and also he dropped his team's performance dropped in the second round of the EPL. Because of that, they sacked him. Now, looking at Black Stars of Ghana currently, our performance isn't all that great as a nation. And if you look at Coach Chris Hughton, he is also very good defending. He's not a coach who always opens up, attacking you. Sure. I think he has that experience because he was coaching Brighton. There are some teams naturally in the EPL you have to defend sometimes, or most of the times you have to defend. If you are playing against Manchester, after that Liverpool, after that Arsenal, you might be pushed to defend as a team who is a small team in quotes. So coming to the Black Stars of Ghana, that Ghanaians, we love free-flowing football. We want to see our players expressing themselves on the pitch. How is he going to do that? That means that he must do a lot on this team. And you know, one problem that Black Stars of Ghana we have, which manifested in the World Cup, is about the spaces we leave behind. See, we consider a lot of goals in the World Cup, not because our goalkeeper was not good, but it is because of those pockets of spaces we left behind. Look at the goals we considered from Portugal. Well, you can say that with Cristiano Ronaldo's goal, that one was debatable. That penalty, that you know, the referee a smart effort gave him was debatable. But after that, look at that true pass that was sent, and I think this player scored. Rafael Leo. No, before Rafael Leo's goal, the second goal that Portugal scored
was João Felix.
Yes, João Felix. Thank you. That João Felix run. How was he able to run behind Baba Rahman and pick that ball, then slot home? Even before then, look at where Bruno Fernandes picked the ball. He ran a lot of space. Then he was able to spot where he was going to actually pick that pass. So this means that Black Stars of Ghana's team as a defense, we are very weak. And that is where Coach Chris Hughton needs to work. If you continue to look at South Korea, look at those mistakes we did. The space between Tariq Ante, then Daniel Amate was exploited. And they got 2 goals right from there. So looking at the team, how are we going to work on that? It is very, very necessary. Black Stars must defend well, and we must also attack well at the same time. So Chris Hughton, Ghanaians are happy. First of all, you have our support as a coach. That is very, very important going in. He's going to get the support that he will need in Kumasi. But how to execute, how to manage egos of players at this moment will be very, very key. And that is what I will actually talk about. There are other players I want him to improve them in the team. With Thomas Partey's performance, we saw him going to watch Partey in the last game Arsenal played at home.
Yeah, and I saw that Semenyo.
Sure. And
Semenyo was in that game,
Sure, yes. Semenyo from AFC Bournemouth, then Partey for Arsenal. I want him to actually deploy Partey very well in the team. How can we get the best out of Thomas Partey? Partey will give you a 5-star performance at Arsenal, but will come to the Black Stars of Ghana, and most of the time we do not see him flourishing in the midfield for us. With Salis Abdul Samed there, how is he going to work that out? I think these are some of the few things we need to look at in the team. But I think Chris Hughton's era is going to be very interesting because we have an Afcon to go. And Ghanaians, we are expecting the trophy to come home. So he needs to build a winning mentality in the minds of the players. So let's wait and see how things will go on that front.
Okay, the two guys have spoken a lot. Baba, wrap it up for us. What are you expecting from Chris Hughton, and what are the issues you want him to address?
So, Oshini
What are you
Emmanuel has
expecting?
said all.
They've said a lot, yeah. What are you expecting?
Yeah, Oshini and Emmanuel have said it all. But yeah, right now, my expectation, first one, will the GFA allow Chris Hughton to work on his own, or they will impose players for him to start them?
So, in other words, you are thinking that because some players are injured, that is why we got this selection. So when they are all fully fit, will he be allowed to select those same players who are better than those who are currently injured? Okay, that's interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
If they are all fit and can play, will they allow Chris Hughton to do his personal selection?
Okay.
Or the GFA will impose players for him?
All right.
So for Chris Hughton to give us the results, we should allow the coach to do his work. We should not impose players for him to call them.
Yeah.
And that's my first expectation. Then my second expectation, I'm looking up to how the coach will go about his selection
for the games.
Oskeni was saying something. Someone like Baba Rahman, our game against our last game was against Portugal. We all know what Baba Rahman did in the game. He was not playing anything, but we didn't know either Otuado was afraid with Baba Rahman or something. Meanwhile, we have players that can replace him from the bench, but Otuado
did not make the needful substitutions.
Do you see that? So I'm looking that Hughton, when he needs to do the changes, he should not afraid. Oh, this player is a senior player. It's big. No. When it is necessary to change the player, he should do the needful.
He should do that. He should do the needful. All right. So we can move on to the.
Yeah, you can proceed.
Yeah, so I'm looking at he's to not repeat that mistake. And that last minute changes. The coach knows that his team is lacking.
It's not working.
Maybe the midfield that this player is not performing, or in the right back, this player is not performing. To maintain that particular player for last minute before he brings the which is not helping.
Yeah, it doesn't help anyone.
So when it's Hughton, I'm expecting that when he needs to do changes, he should do it at the right time. He should not wait for a player to play his worst, but he still maintain the player. Or in the name of the player is a senior player. No. When it is needful, we should continue to try and do early substitutions.
That will save us. Yeah. I noticed that mistake.
That last minute thing.
Yeah.
We should not wait till last minute. Please. I'm expecting Chris to learn something or to change that thing from our Black Star team.
All right. Thank you so much.
Ghanaian, we like talking.
Yes. I want the viewers to come in at 8:05. So I want us to move up a bit with our discussion. Yeah. So let me move on to the next topic. I think you start it off for us, esports. I think you start that one off for us. The news was that Chris Hughton was given a 1-year contract. Yes, he wanted 3 years. The FA offered him 1 year. So currently, he has not signed any document officially, but he has been announced as the head coach. He's according to the reports I saw on Twitter and other social media handles, I saw that he has been given 3 years now is what the government is also fighting for. So his contract is currently with the Attorney General, and that is what we have heard concerning his contract talk. So hopefully before the game on the 23rd, someone was asking about the date of the match. It's on the 23rd of March, 2023. The second leg is on the 27th in Angola, Luanda, 2023. That will be when the two games will be played. So those are the dates for the game. Before then, before he arrives in the country, before he's unveiling on the 20th, everything would have been signed. But B Sports, let me start from you.
Oh, but for
Why
me,
do you think let me start from you. I think the 3 years and the 1 year, which one would you have preferred? And what do you think is the reason why Chris Hughton wanted something lengthier?
you see,
Let me know your
for
thoughts
me,
on that. Yeah.
I prefer the 3 years.
Yeah.
Let's
Think.
let's look back to France and England and other
Yeah.
let's say Europe
Countries.
national countries.
Yeah.
How many years did Didier Deschamps coach France? When you
Quite a
give the
lengthy
person,
period. Yeah.
yeah, when you give the person a long period of time, he's able to study the team.
The team. Yeah.
He's able, he's, he will know how to arrange the players for tournaments.
Yeah.
So I don't think that giving Kikiti 1 year will help Ghana. I believe
Yeah.
that we should give him, if not the 3 years, then more than that. He should prepare our
Think
team. We should prepare our team. We are not just
for the
there for
future.
you, but we want to achieve something. But when you want to achieve something and you do it short period of time, the person will come with certain dynamics. But because of you didn't give the person a long period of time, no, he cannot achieve what he's looking for. Let's say you want me to win Afcon for Ghana. Then this next year we have Afcon. Let's say
Yeah.
he went to the Afcon and did not do well. Okay, we judge him because of that Afcon. Then we sack him. Definitely, we are going to look for a new coach. When you look for a new coach, the new coach is also coming to study the players.
To restart the whole process again.
Yeah, he will start the whole process again. But when we give the old one chance to coach for a long period of time, yes, he can organize a well-organized team for any tournament. So I'm not expecting the GFC to give Christensen 1 year contract. I don't think it will help Ghana. If only we want the future of Black Stars, we should not give Christensen a 1 year contract. Because to achieve something, it normally takes small time. It takes a quiet time before you can achieve what you want. Let's say this our YouTube channel. When we first created the channel, at the beginning, it was very hard to get the views or to get the subscribers. But when we keep trying, learning strategies on how to get the viewers or the subscribers, now look at where we are. If we are not the best, right now we are not complaining about the views or the subscribers. So when we want to achieve for us, at least we should not give him 1 year to prepare our national team for us. I don't think it will work. The coach needs
all right. Thank you so much, B Sports.
Yeah. Thank you.
Guys, let's keep the submission snappy. Your thoughts, Manuel, your thoughts on the 1 year and the 3 years. Just let's keep it snappy. Then I'll let the viewers
Yeah, thank you once again for your question. I think before you discard your old phone, for a new phone, by all means, you'll be looking out to certain things, right? I hope you resonate with what I'm saying. Before you discard your old phone for a new phone, by all means, there might be some problems from the old phone. So you want to solve the problems to get new phone. So what are some of the problems?
Yeah.
These are some of the layouts you should make before you go in for new phone. So they're giving the contract to Chris Hughton. Since Otuado is not around, what are their expectations? I mean, the GFA, what are their expectations? One, if you are giving, they in their on their website, they announcing Chris Hughton as the new Black Stars coach. They said they want a coach that will build a formidable team. So what formidable team are they looking at for? When you talk about formidable team, a team that it should be able to win trophy. I think one of the characteristics of a formidable team, they should be able to win a trophy. So if you are giving 1 year contract, when are you even going to play this Afcon 2024? I think it's somewhere around June,
next
right?
year.
Is it January or June?
Yeah.
The
It's in January. January 2024.
January 2024. Yes. So if it is January, we have like 9 months. 9 months to the is it 9 to 10 months to the Afcon? So you'll be left with only 2 months. What about if he goes and he doesn't perform? Is it that we just have to take the team from Chris Hughton and give it to another person?
Yeah.
So they should look at certain things. Yes, that is what they think. I think they are just speculating it to the form that after the Afcon, if it doesn't perform, you will give it to another person. Since time immemorial that we won Afcon, that time I think I wasn't even on this end. I just came to heard what's happened, but since then I've not even seen the Black Stars winning any trophy. And this is the time that we all have to stampede and get to know that this is what you want from the Black Stars. Build the team and let them win. That is all. After 2024 Afcon, we have 2025 Afcon. So at least if we perform better in the 2024 Afcon, we will all be on the knees that, by all means, we are going for the trophy in 2025 with the same coach. I think they are actually, before a coach will vie for that position, they should look out for the coach proposal, his CVs and everything. So you just can't come out and say that because Ghanaians are calling on Chris Hughton, we've appointed Chris Hughton. Since we've appointed you, you know what some of the characteristics that he have in order for him to be the coach of the Black Stars. That is what you are looking at from the GFA. So they should give the job to him in order for him to perform as in the 3 years. That is all I'll go for. You let me just draw my submissions here for Sikeni to continue. So Sikeni can proceed.
Sikeni, wrap it up for us, then we get the views of our viewers.
Okay. All right. Sorry, my mic was off. I'll just continue from where Manuel ended it. I don't know whether they wanted to sign a contract that will end with a tenure of Keto Krapo. I don't know, because I think he has 1 year. I don't know. I think he has 1 year to go. But how on earth you want to build a team, a winning team, a team for the future, and you want to give him 1 year? I don't know. Because if you are a coach and you give me 1 year,
I don't get it. It makes no sense to me.
Sure. If you give me 1 year, there's no way I'm going to call Pozo. There's no way I'm going to include Tarek Lamte and some players. I'll continue to play the guy you play Baba Rahman because they are the players who are already in the team. I'll work with the materials I have to achieve results as soon as possible. Yes, because I don't know, but it didn't make sense to me when I heard that rumors. I don't know, but they should just give him 3 years. I think 5 years will be too much if he's not really performing well. We will be calling for his head. So I think 3 years will be okay for any coach who wants
3 years is fair. It's fair.
Yes, it's fair to me. I think 3 years is okay. And I don't want to talk about even the 1 year. It doesn't make sense to me. Sure.
All right. So I think it's a time for viewers to come in, join the link. You can join the StreamYard link. I'll paste it again. You can join and air your thoughts. But there's one person here. I'm adding you to the stream. PK Donko Jr. Are you ready to make your submission? I'm adding you to the stream, right? Yeah, all right. So let's hear your thoughts on the squad. First, your thoughts on the squad and what you expect from Chris Hughton in the qualifiers.
The squad I'm very happy with. Very, very happy with.
Okay.
Everybody talks about Jordan Ayew and Abid and Andre. I think they need to be there to bring the young ones through. So a couple of years for experience and everything. Big tournament composure. everything. They need that. But the reason why I actually stayed and I want to talk about is that the GFA, they are a joke. And I've been listening to all of you. They are a joke. And one thing that resonates with me is that I think they didn't want to give the job to Chris Hughton.
Yeah, it's
It
obvious
might
now
be.
from the one year.
It's so obvious. And one thing I want to chide you journalists about is that you haven't picked up on the comment that Coach Opele made, and that we asked for the fans have asked for Chris. He said we the fans have asked for Chris Hughton. He's a failure at club level. If he fails the national team, we shouldn't be blaming Keto Kreku. We've gotten what we want.
Oh, so they did it to satisfy people and not really to support him to do well. That's what
so I think they are putting impediments in his. The other thing, why would you pay a person of Chris Hughton's caliber $30,000? Are we serious? Are we serious?
Yeah.
Upadia defode, ubenya dia defode. So with me, I'm happy. I'm happy. One thing I hope, I don't think it's going to happen because Keto Kreku has said that he wouldn't allow any coach to select players by himself. So I think there's still going to be interference. But I'm trusting the Chris Hughton. I'm in the UK. I'm trusting the Chris Hughton. I know that if that comes, he will walk out.
Yeah.
He will walk off. He will walk out. If there's that in much into that one, I believe so much that he's not going to put his reputation on the line by let these cowboys tell him what to do. They are cowboys.
Thank you so much, Mr. Donko Jr.
Thank you very much.
The truth is also with us. The truth. I'm adding you to the stream right now.
Hello,
Give us your thoughts.
First of all,
how are you doing?
Great, good work in Qatar. I was there for the Korea game, Portugal game, and I saw you did some good work with the Nigerian gentleman. They got the strange afro. Did some good commentary there.
Yeah.
So, but anyway,
together, yeah. I remember
this team is a good team. The one surprise to me, I thought Chris Hughton was going to be bold and not include the Ayew brothers. That's what I thought he was going to do. But now that he's included them, these two matches, Ghana has to win both. Otherwise, certain people need to be asked. And I think Pencil, Ashimiro, the Ayew brothers, I should say, really have to do well when given opportunities in these two matches. I mean, Ghana shouldn't just win. Ghana should be dominant in these two matches. If they're not, then we know there have to be some serious changes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So you are expecting him to remove the Ayew brothers? Don't you think that would have been too radical?
No.
Especially for his first call up.
No, because as much as I like the Ayew brothers, I'm big fans of the Ayew brothers, but people age. Yeah. And when you age, at some point you have to step aside and start afresh. And if you're not bold enough to do that, it sort of shows a lack of confidence. I think Ghana as a program should have enough confidence to say, look, thank you very much. We're moving to a new zone and give some younger players a chance and see what happens. In fact, think about it. What do they have to lose? If you can't beat Angola, then you don't belong in the Afcon. So that's my take. If this group cannot beat Angola without the Ayew brothers, then they don't belong on the team. That's my position. I mean, there's no question about it. I'm confident that there's enough talent to win these type of matches without the Ayew brothers. And I think building confidence is critical. And I think that's one of the weaknesses right now. The team isn't sure if they're an African powerhouse or not. They don't know who they really are. They sort of think they are, but they're not confident in it. If you watch the Senegalese, they're confident that they are a powerhouse. You understand? They play with that confidence. The Black
Yeah.
Stars aren't playing that way right now. And it takes a coach who's willing to make bold moves and say, look, you people are good enough to beat everybody on this continent. So just go and do it. And I think it's about time a bold move is made. We can't keep holding on to players for like a decade and a half. You can't have players playing for a decade. Yeah, you have to move on. You have to. It's nothing against the players
Yeah.
personally, but you have to have the confidence that the nation has the talent to take over.
All right, all right. Thank you so much. And before you leave, let me just put this one to you. You remember before the World Cup, we're advocating for local players to join the national team. Are you still? Are you?
I'm not a
No.
fan of local players. I'm not a fan of local players
Oh,
because
yeah.
the Chan
I
demonstrated.
think
The
that
Chan
debate is over
demonstrated.
now, right? With everything
The
that's going
Chan,
on.
look, everything in life, you get your chance to prove yourself. At the Chan,
Yeah, yeah.
that
You do.
team proved that the local players just aren't ready. And we just have to face it. Unless the local team can win a Chan, no local player can play on the Black Stars. I mean, that's just what it is. You should be able to win the
Black
Chan.
Stars.
You should be able to win the Chan. I mean, if you can't win the Chan, then are you a powerhouse in African football? then you're
No,
not.
you're not.
Then you're not.
Senegal have all the trophies now.
The Chan was very disappointing to me. I was watching them and I said, you know what,
Very.
this tells us that the local league needs something. They need to what they do need. This is what they need. They need to find a way to fund the teams to get quality players to stay in that league. The minute somebody's quality, they leave. So then the league isn't. I mean,
The
I'll be honest.
exodus, player exodus.
I'll be very honest with you. I'll be very honest with you. I'm based here in the States. I watch MLS. MLS is more impressive than GPL. I mean, it's sad. I couldn't have said that years ago, but right now I can say I can put together MLS All Stars and they'll go and win the Chan. I mean, that's the truth.
Wow.
And that's a sad statement. That's a sad statement, but that's where we are now. I don't know what to say. I don't know how they're going to get the money to fund the teams to actually give quality, because the quality is there, but I think the quality leaves Ghana early. That's what happens. And so the local league, I mean, I don't even think this last Hearts of Oak match, did people show up? I don't even know what happened.
No. The
The
numbers were down.
Yeah,
They have to give a free entrance.
Free entry. After I paid money in Qatar to go to the matches, people getting free entry. It doesn't make any sense. I tell you. But what at least my belief is the Qatar experience was good, because to me there's no excuse. There's no excuse. To me they did the best they could in Qatar. I wasn't really disappointed. What happened is what I thought was going to happen, to be honest with you. I'm glad I was gone. Really? Yeah, I'm glad I left before the Uruguay match, because then I would have been upset. But I saw the Korea victory. I left. I was satisfied. Then I watched Uruguay on TV, and once they didn't make the penalty, I stopped. I stopped watching.
It was much more painful in person. My goodness.
I know. I can imagine. So for me, I'll be real honest with you. I felt that World Cup was an exercise to get them ready for this qualifier and for the Afcon. So if they don't play dominant football in these qualifiers, then you have to make changes because there's no excuse. I mean, because the way they played at
Yeah.
other than the Uruguay match, I think they played well in the Portugal match and the South Korea match.
Yeah.
Although, as usual with Ghana, they give you a heart attack. Like the South Korea match shouldn't have been as close as it ended up being. And then also in the Portugal match, unfortunately, I believe personally,
The decision
if it wasn't for that penalty, I think that outcome might have been different. I think we would have left with a draw.
probably a draw. Yeah.
That's what I think would have happened. But
Yeah.
this is football; these things happen, and it's Ronaldo. They're going to
Happen,
favor
yeah.
him. They needed him for TV and so forth, so they kept Portugal in as long as possible. But the team is good. I think there's a confidence that's lacking, and I think right now Chris Horton's job is to get these guys very confident, where they feel like they are the best, and they should play like that. I mean, we shouldn't be watching Ghana Black Stars and worried about them getting out of qualification for Afcon. But legitimately,
Yeah.
we're worried. We're worried because anything could happen. We've been seeing these type of
Yeah,
incidents.
Comoros told us that anything can happen.
Yeah,
Comoros beat us AFCON. We all
now
thought we were going to
we
qualify
don't have
a
the
newly
same
promoted. Yeah.
we don't have the same swagger. We go into
The
matches.
confidence isn't as high. Yeah.
Yes. But I'm hoping that they have to qualify because I have to go to see them at Ivory Coast, so they have to qualify. So somehow or the other, they have to do something so that at least I can go see a few matches. Hopefully, they won't annoy me because the Afcon, if they make this Afcon, I feel they have to go to semifinals at least. They should be able to do that. I mean, to be quite frank. Because the 2014 format gives the third place teams a chance. So even if you third place in the group, you can make it. And after that, anything can happen. So, I mean, there's no excuse. This team is better than the one that lost to Comoros. I don't know. The big question mark for me, there's two question marks on this team. Who's going to be the goalie? Who's going to be the striker? Goalie, I'm unsure, to be honest. I don't know what to say. Sometimes a Tiki Ziggy looks decent. Sometimes he looks like he's rather going to do a hip life video. Then Wallacott, I don't know I don't know what's going on. He's not playing on the team. I mean, I actually like the gentleman who wears a helmet. I forget his name. The guy who wears a helmet, I actually like him from
Manaf.
Yeah. But I don't know what's wrong, and he's not starting at his club. I don't know what's going on, but he seems like he's good from what I saw. Striker wise, I have a feeling. What's the name of the Edward guy? Semenyo. I think Semenyo might be better than Williams. I think he's better than Williams for some reason, but I think they're going to give Williams one last chance. They're giving him one last chance.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that I think what it is with Williams is he's trying too hard, and he's maybe having difficulty fitting into the team. Whereas Semenyo, I suspect Semenyo, being somebody who grew up in the UK, has a little more experience with Ghanaians. So he's more comfortable with the team. I think Inaki is sort of like a very new process for him. So I think he's trying too hard to prove himself, and he's a little bit tense. But we'll see what happens. Maybe if he scores his first goal, then he'll relax. But to me, I think is going to end up being the better striker. Just I have this sense that he should do it unless they're able to get what's the name of the guy in Arsenal, the guy at Arsenal who's still in between Nketiah. If he switches, but then again, sometimes I don't know, but if he switches, he might be the man, but we shall see. But the striker and goalie are where we have the issue. That's my take on it. I don't know how you feel. But I feel that is the missing links on this team.
All right. Thank you so much. Lengthy talk. The truth.
Okay.
To Isaac, I'm bringing. Sure. To Isaac, are you ready? I think we'll end everything around 8:30. That's a good enough time. To Isaac, I don't think he's ready. Let me give it to OBTV. Joel, let me add you. Okay. You are on, Joel. Hello? My network is messing up. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think Joel is ready because his video is still frozen. Kenny?
Yes, I.
Yeah, okay. Your video was not moving, so I was thinking yours is frozen as well. Well,
All right.
as more people join
Yeah,
eventually, I think let's wrap things up. Yeah.
Okay.
Manuel, what's up?
Yeah, can you hear me? I hope everything is good. Is the network
Yeah,
okay?
I can hear you. So yeah, it says okay. Let me remove Joe. I think the network is not helping us today. Let's wrap it up here. I wanted to talk about the starting 11, but I think it's a bit too premature. We'll do that probably next week. But let's end here. The local players. I think we talked about it. Was quite interesting. The truth, what he said in the local player conversation. There were many people advocating local players is the national team for the Black Stars, is the Ghana team. Why are you going out to get players to play for us? We have the players here who die playing for the national team colors. Put them in there, they will do well. So much talk for the locally based contingent, but we saw what they showed us at the Chan. Do you think that's the end of the local player involvement in the Black Stars conversation? Let me start with Osikeni. Then we wrap it up here.
Okay, all right. Thank you for this question again. I think that is not the end, but usually we speak according to the materials we have. Right now, no one is making case for any locally based player because which player are you going to make the case for? If a free Ebania was still to be playing for Asofo, we could say that, a free Ebania is still there. We need to take him there. Now, Danlad Ibrahim, for me, I saw that Danlad wasn't going to get a corner because he was called out for the under 23 side. They will also play their matches within that particular, time that or weeks that Ghana will also play our game. So, Danlad, who would have gone there, will have to go to the under 23. And even Danlad, for now, I think, looking at the mistake he made against Asofo, of which is something he does. Sometimes coming out, he doesn't do his calculations well. I think many feel that he still needs to improve on his game. The Blasters, we all know that usually the one slot we were having is the goalkeeping slot. Definitely we'll get a goalkeeper from the locally based teams to go and represent us. But for now, Wolacott is there, Manaf is there. Even though the two, they are not really playing in the club very well. But I think they deserve to be there. And one issue we have from the Ghana Premier League is any quality player will go away the next season. So which players are we going to talk about? Last season, the best players, Imoro Ibrahim has joined Al Hilal, a left back that by now we could have been making case for. He has joined them.
So the player exodus is a lot.
It's a lot, and that is why everybody just joined. So right now he has become a foreign-based player, but he was once in the local scene. So I think we only make case when we see that an exceptional player from the local scene is doing well, and also our local national team should also improve. The Black Galaxies, what they showed to us in the Chan wasn't anything that we can actually talk about. So I think they need to improve as players, and after that we can make issue, case for them. But for now, you can't tell me we should call any player and take out anyone invited by Coach Christie. So it depends. If the players are doing well, we make case for them.
All right. So Baba, you continue with that question, and Manuel, you wrap things up for us.
I think I support what Osheni is saying because
Mhm.
currently I don't see any local players that they need to be in the Black Stars or competing squad right now. Can you hear me? Hello.
But you
Yeah,
have
I can
to.
hear you clearly. I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Raise
think
your voice a
I have
bit.
agreed
Yeah.
with what Osheni is saying, but currently I don't see any local player deserve in competing current squad. No, I don't deserve. But when they are doing well, we talk for them to get a call up. But currently, there's
Right now.
no any
All right.
local right now. There's no any local player who deserves to be in competing
To be
this
in the
current squad.
national team.
Yeah. So I think what we
All
can
right.
say, I totally agree with you.
No, take us home.
Yeah, also, is my network okay?
It's
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay. Let me take the trophy to the house today. All right.
Yes, please.
With the local players, I think the players exodus, as you said, is a key thing
Mm,
that is always worrying the local players. When we talk
yeah.
about Efie Banier is going, other players, I think even Bichim United keepers who went to Kenya also. Look at even the
Yeah,
countries that they
Patel,
are heading
Abdul.
towards. Yes, which is very, 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 very bad. And I think looking at the current Black Stars, none of the local players, looking at what they did in Algeria, they don't deserve the call up. From the goalkeeping department to the defenders, midfielders, whoever the player is, I think they have a lot of things to do in order to revitalize themselves for the Black Stars call up. For now, as I'm speaking, no local player. Which player is even going to overtake in the national team? Even those who were at their peak when they went to the team, they were at the bench. So who for now is even going to force himself into the Black
Yeah.
Stars? It's a very difficult problem for the local team as well as in the local teams. So I think for now there's no local player who can find his way into the Black Stars.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Thank you, everyone who was able to join. The question is, what player among the squad will you replace with a local player? I think that sums it up for us. And thank you for joining us, wherever you joined us from. We appreciate you so much for making the time to join us here on this Friday night discussion about the Black Star squad that has been announced. Remember, Chris Hughton will be unveiled in Kumasi on the 20th of March. The dates, the venue will be communicated. You can be sure we'll bring you amazing content and visuals from all 4 channels that are here right now. We'll be bringing you everything. You can subscribe to Sikeni TV, subscribe to Manual Sports, subscribe to B Sports as well. They also do amazing football content, and as well myself, Sarah Football. That has been it for today. Thank you, my panel. Thank you guys for making the time to join me. The match is on the 23rd of March, 2023. The second leg is on the 27th of March, 2023. The Black Stars, should they win these 2 games, will have 1 foot in Ivory Coast for the Afcon 2024, which will be held in January. It was supposed to be held in June 2023, but CAF, owing to weather condition issues, decided to shift it. So the Afcon qualifiers are on. Chris Hughton is the man. He'll get a 3-year contract. Hopefully, he does get that. It has not been signed yet, but it will be signed before his unveiling. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great Friday night. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you, guys.
Good night. Good night. Good night.